Hey guys, it's me, my face, and less stitching than you would expect. Today's little happy dance is brought to us by tea, very hot tea. Should not dance with hot tea. Note to self. If you are new here, my name is Andrea, and this is my channel about cross stitch and other stuff. If the other stuff bothers you, I usually shove that at the end, so we should be good to go. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. I was not up to making a video last week. Depression has been pretty bad, and so it's led to a lot of sleeping, which led to a lot of not stitching, and it didn't make sense to make a video of like zero progress. But now I have 2 weeks worth of very little progress, so let's jump in, shall we? The first thing that I think I worked on is the Linen and Threads 2020 free stitch along Quaker. We've been through this. Honestly, guys, I'm not entirely sure if I stitched on this since the last time we talked, but I'll show it to you anyway because, yeah, I'm honestly not sure if I worked on this. I looked at my before pictures and this seemed to be progress, but now that I'm looking at it, I assumed it was done. It's not. Not the whole thing. The motif. So I don't know. So let's just look at it and go, ooh, and ah. Let's also address these little wang doodles here. My good friend and stitchy godmother, Laura, contacted me and said, you know, have you seen these things? Everybody's talking about them. I think she was watching Pam and Steph, and they discussed them, and I had seen them mentioned, and I was thinking, I don't think I need another gizmo. And then I realized, of course I need another gizmo. Don't be ridiculous. So I bought some, and they were bad. They weren't bad. They were not helpful. The magnets were not strong enough. So I ended up buying the bigger pack that actually do have some strong magnets, and it seems to be working just fine to wrestle my my fabric. I like the peels. I think I like the peels best on Q-snaps though, because they kind of conform to the sides. When you just had floppy fabric, they tended to get a little loose, so we will see how these go. I got a fair number of them. The other half of the package is on its way to Laura. Shh, don't tell her. Tell me she's going to send me stuff in the mail and think I'm not going to send her stuff back. The next thing I worked on is Knock Knock. This is my Prairie Schooler. And I am doing this 1/1 on some sort of coffee tea-dyed mystery uneven weave fabric. And I got more of this side done this time. I really like the border on this one. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's because it's a little geometric or just because, like, especially over here, once the back stitching is in, it's just really detailed or delicate. I don't know. I know many words. I don't always know where they go. I'm going to sneeze. Maybe I'll edit that out. Maybe not. But yeah, this is stitching along well. This is I think the one that I sit down with the most when I just kind of want to tuck into the couch and not have to use a floor stand or anything and just stitch, you know, huddled. Sometimes you just need to huddle. It's a thing. So this has been my go-to. I still have one more. Don't ask me which one. It's over here somewhere. And then I will have all 5 done. And then I can decide what I want to do with all 5. Because all the things I've decided to do with all 5, I have decided not to do with all 5. What are we talking about? Have some tea. There we go. I don't think it's the tea. I think it's the 3 teaspoons of sugar I put in it that makes that worthwhile. The next thing I worked on is the Roladex Mourning sampler. This is by Bendy Stitchy Michelle Garrett, and I love this pattern. I love it so much. It's coming out so good. I am swapping out most of the colors, and I did find that over here I seem to have gone off the rails somewhere. No, yes. I don't know. I went off the rails somewhere, so I'm going to have to pick that brown back and figure out where, but I think if I left it, I could probably fudge it and it wouldn't be a problem, but I don't want to start keying things off of that and then not know where the hell I am, because that's not an unusual state for me. But I did fill in the moss color in the background, which I have to say, Michelle, you know, the designer herself sent me that moss, and yeah, it's all the difference. I should have just gone with the called for, but I said no, I have so much. I should have just gone with the called for. But I have to say, this is Classic Colorworks Smoke. And depending on when I look at it, it reads very gray or very purple. Right here, right now, it's looking very purple, but I like it. It's like a good stone purple. It doesn't look out of place. And I kind of made the executive decision to stitch it up and down so that it would kind of streak, because I was thinking more if it were wet, it would kind of streak down. I was going to do it side to side with the variegated thread, but I think that would have looked a little too distracting, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. But I did do a fair amount on this, and that was good fun last night. I actually did all of this, the purple and the moss, last night while I was watching Old Ghost Adventures Screaming Room. I was catching up. It was a solid night last night. The last thing I worked on is Death by Cross Stitch. This is by Long Dog Samplers. It's being done on 32 count ivory even weave, and it is mostly DMC 310 with some accent colors. I can't see what you see, so I'm going to just hope that you can see that I just brought this little motif down further. It was not a lot of stitching that day. It was mostly, I think I used this, oh my goodness, I'm hitting everything, to kind of drag me out of the non-stitching rut. I just sort of forced myself to sit down, and I said, one length. You're going to do one length. You're going to do it on the floor stand so you can get up and walk away from it anytime you want. And I did. So I didn't do a whole lot to it, but I did something, and that at least got me back into wanting to pull out other projects and to make new starts and to work on secret stitching. Laura. So that's it for the stitching in the past 2 weeks, which isn't great, but it was better than not having anything to show, or only having like a couple of little. Either way, that's my stitching for the week. I did have a little bit of haul. I've already shown you the magnetic, I think they refer to them as magnetic twist ties, and you can see these ones have really good strong magnets. The first ones I got, they were smaller than this. I think they were about like half the size, so they would be like that. But the magnets barely clung on to each other. I don't know what you could possibly use them for. It would have to be something that never got tugged or pulled or anything. These are nice and strong, and they clip not only like to themselves, but they clip to each other, so you can kind of string them together if you need a little longer piece. I will put a link down below to these on Amazon. It will be an affiliate link, if that matters to you. So check them out. I also received my nest egg from Trisha at 3 Owl Threads, and I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed having this come every month. You know, when you're having a tough time, there's nothing like going to the mailbox and finding one of those little bright packages from her, in a pretty little envelope, and it's It's your treat. It's your little monthly treat. So we all know the drill. The colors are, not going to look great, but we're going to go through them. This is Bean Sprout, which is probably a little less bright than what you're seeing there. Fleur de Lilac. Four-leaf clover. Erin Go Emerald, which I cannot wait to use. Desert Mesquite, which I also really like. Dublin Bay. I just had a very weird moment where it looked out of the corner of my eye there was a cat walking across the floor, which would not be unusual if the cat wasn't just laying right here. It was just a moment, and I'm just saying there was a cat. This is Dolce De Leche. I apologize for not pronouncing that correctly, and also there's not much you can see there. It's I really want to say it's like a pink, although I don't think it's supposed to be pinkish. I think it's probably like a beige, something beige. Colonial Rose. Country Lane. And Crab Cakes, which I think is a really great kind of pinkish red. It has a nice variegation in it, and it's not like a red. You know what I mean? Red. Because I like getting these little packages in the mail once a month, I signed up for another Thread of the Month club. This is over at Fat Quarter Shop. I signed up for, I believe it's called the Floss Frenzy. It is 5 or 6 colors of Weeks dye work every month. And they do it, rather than doing it alphabetically, they do it by color group. So like one month you'll get a bunch of greens or a bunch of reds or a bunch of... So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I don't really have any weeks. I have maybe 2 or 3 skeins. So I thought maybe I would give them a shot. We'll see how it goes. That's pretty much been my week. Like I said, I've been tending to sleep more than stitch. It's not how I want to be right now. It's October. I should feel free to be running amok and decorating and communing with ancestors and whatnot, and I'm just not. I am going to sneeze again. Oh, I do love a good allergy season. So like I was saying, I'm just not up to it right now, so I'm trying to do things in little pieces. Mark brought up some of the Halloween stuff last week, and I've kind of filtered it out over a couple of days, and now he brought up a skeleton so I can put that out front, and I'm just gonna do it slowly. And I'm trying not to get too excited about Halloween night, actually, because I still don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know. They haven't said anything about not letting kids trick-or-treat. I don't know if letting them trick-or-treat is a good idea. I feel like it's risky. But at the same time, I want to give the candy to the children. That's like a big part of my gig. So I am looking into some non-candy things for this year, figuring if I give out stuff that parents can take a Clorox wipe to or something like that, at least maybe I'll feel a little better about it. The past several years, we have gotten fewer and fewer children coming out, so I'm not really anticipating a lot of kids, which is sad and depressing and just... But this is the year of the plague, and things are the way they are. So maybe, hopefully, at the very least, people will be out and about maybe looking at decorations and things like that. So we can hope. I like interacting with people this way. I don't like interacting with people many other ways, so this is my way. I think that's going to be it for this week. Sorry about not much content. I'm getting there. I'm hoping that this week is a better week. I'm going to try to force myself to try to stitch a little bit every day. Maybe what I'll do is I'll be monogamous on one project, because you can't be monogamous on several projects, because that's what the word means, Andrea. That's what the word means. So that I only have one thing in my head, but maybe if I sit down every day and do a little bit on it, I can get my stitching momentum back. And, usually if you don't feel like stitching, the best thing to do is to stitch, because 10 minutes in, you're into it. So yeah, I will see how that goes. And I will check in with you guys next week. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. And thank you for your comments. I know I'm behind, but I appreciate every single one of them. And I'm going to do my best to get through them. Thanks. Bye, guys.